Okay, so we're going to get started with Chris Painter. He's a director of product at GoPro. Who here has heard of GoPro? Actually, just a show of hands, who here has a GoPro? Right on. Cool. Good stuff. So Chris, this will be yours. Let me just say, this will be yours. Unless you want this one too. Just don't do the visor thing because it'll look funny on TV.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready, just go.
Is this on? Oh, there we go. So it wouldn't be GoPro unless I GoPro'd it. That's right. So yeah, my name's Chris Painter. I'm with GoPro. I run product for software and services at GoPro. And I thought I would start with a video. Is this thing on? Whoops. So that was my story. Those are all videos that I had an opportunity to capture, while I've been at GoPro. When I first joined GoPro a couple years ago, a lot of my friends were like, "Oh, you're joining GoPro? And, like, that's so cool." I'm like, "But you don't race cars, or you don't jump out of airplanes, or you don't do all that surfing stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm super passionate about telling, and sharing my life's experiences, and that's really what I learned when I met with the GoPro team. That's what it's all about, is being able to share out your life's experiences." And not only that, halfway through my career, I was super passionate about the consumption side of video. I've been involved in that side of things for quite a long time. First at Sony, I did my own startup. I worked for Comcast for a little stint. And then I also managed the product app of Amazon's Fire TV project. But really at GoPro, the thing that excites me the most is that I get to go from the capture, the manage, the create, editing, and sharing that out, and then the consumption as well. So who here, and we just asked the question, but who here owns a GoPro or has had a chance to own a GoPro or use a GoPro before? What you guys probably recognize, as Nick Woodman, our CEO, did a long time ago, is that, back then, when he was trying to go out and live his passion, he had to bring someone else along with him. He had to either hire a professional videographer, or he's like, "Hey guys, can you stand in the water and film me while I'm doing this cool surfing trick?" It was really difficult to do, but what he recognized back then was he wanted to flip that paradigm around. He wanted to be able to enable people to self-capture and self-document, living their passions. And so now it looks a little more like this. And GoPro is really focused on, that enabling users to capture and self-document their life's experiences, and we're not stopping there. As you may have heard, Nick has talked about the new spherical camera rig. So now you can capture full 360 view and perspective of what's going on around you. And then we've also talked about, innovating with things like drones. So we're going to continue to look at those areas as well and really innovate around the capture experience. So of those people, and I'm sure not just with GoPro, but anyone out there who's captured video, who loves managing and editing that video? So if you're like me, you're probably, it probably feels a little bit more like this perhaps. It's like, ugh! It's really not fun. It's not an exciting experience. It's not great. And that's why most of that content ends up getting stuck on your SD card, on your hard drive, and actually never gets shared out. And what we've seen with most of our users, most of their content is stuck there, and maybe 5% of that content actually gets shared out. But that was actually the big reason why I was super excited about GoPro, is that this challenge of how do we really make it easier for our users to edit and create awesome videos. So I don't know if anyone in the audience has had an opportunity to see this video of pole vaulting with Allison Stokey. Anyone had a chance to see it? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. Go to our YouTube channel, check it out. It's awesome. The one thing I really wanted to point out about this particular video is that it was shot in one day with one person doing multiple takes with a single GoPro and on a production budget of almost nothing. And what was amazing is, this video really was amazing. People loved it. It's because Allison is a phenomenon, but also because, it provided a uniquely different point of view that, in an otherwise pretty sleepy sport. And when we first launched that, it got over 4 million views. And by comparison, when you look at, that same week that we launched it, what was on TV and how many views they got, nothing there, And it's not to say that this was an apples to apples. We didn't generate a lot of revenue from this, but we didn't actually spend a lot of money either. But the key point here is that we actually engaged with a massive audience. And by enabling our users to actually create better and better videos, that we can then engage with much bigger audiences around the world. So what is this? What we've come to recognize is this is a GoPro movement. It's actually a unique, intimate point of view that millions of people around the world have come to recognize, and they associate and identify that point of view with the GoPro brand. And our brand is really, become a revolution in self-expression and allows people to do that. And my job now here at GoPro is to really stoke that movement, remove all those pain points from capture, manage, create, and sharing out and enabling a massive audience to engage with that content. So I'm looking forward later to talking about Q&A and everyone's questions. I'll be around later if you want to catch up. Thanks.